Hello? Hello everybody. I will try to start the presentation, the 4 o'clock presentation of Project and Musical Fidelity today. I see here some prominent faces, some friends. Mostly friends for sure. So thank you very much for taking the time to step by and give me the joy to give you this presentation. And yeah, let's start with a product which was changing my life and which was changing the hi-fi industry enormously. Because in the 90s, as you everybody know, the industry was dominated by digital and then by MP3, and then there was coming some crazy products, and these products were totally conservative products, and even such a manual, very primitive product was sold in different colors. And over the years, this product was getting one of the most sold hi-fi products ever in the hi-fi industry. And probably you know from what I'm talking about the debut, the Pro-Ject debut. And I'm very happy to present you here the last generation of the debut. Again, we will make it in different colors. I do generally a lot of things which people think they are crazy. But I believe very strong that the hobby hi-fi is something really adorable, something great. And we have always to care that we find new customers about analog and hi-fi stereo. To make them listening conscious to music, and maybe if they really have fun, then they buy later also all the high-end stuff what you see here around. So therefore, the debut is really the most important product, and we have to also say very clear, over the years, the debut was raising on price because we want to still keep the production in Europe. Project is something special. We are basically the only company in Europe which is still able to produce products in a huge volume for an affordable price. And this is unique against any other industry. So you will not find in other industry companies like Pro-Ject who are able to make technical products handmade like we see here with the debut. That makes us very proud, and we want to continue this way. It will be difficult, but our dedication is to have 100% control over the manufacturing. So we can say also Pro-Ject is one of the only really manufacturing companies for hi-fi in Europe. You see companies in high-end who are doing small series, but we don't see really companies who are doing big volume production in Europe anymore. Why we do it? Because we believe only in that way we can give the customer the absolute perfect product, where we have control over the material, control over the quality, and also can supply the parts. Because when we produce the parts ourselves, we can guarantee also that for a long time we have part supply. And I think this is a message which is very important for the young customer who are hopefully again consuming products more conscious and looking more for sustainable products. So what is the difference from the old label and the new label? Yeah, the difference is mainly in the sound quality and in the quality of the parts. The industry at the moment goes again in a completely different direction. As we have seen in the 80s, or then later also with in the end of the 90s and beginning of 2000, the industry, whenever comes something new, then they try to make features out of it. They go away from the quality and adding features. In the turntable industry, we have the same thing. The turntable industry, unfortunately, I have to say that a lot of turntables and more are basically toys where everything is included. Bluetooth is including, phone is including, they are automatic, they have USB, they have all the things, but only few customer needs, because when there is no education, then when companies are stepping in the industry, because it's fashionable and because we can make money with it, yeah, then because they have no technology, they just must sell features. It's very normal. And remember, in the 80s, this was with the hi-fi tower. Yeah, before there was separates, and they have been very nice. And then they made hi-fi towers out of it. And these hi-fi towers had, they have been more like Christmas trees, overloaded with features. You know? And the business was collapsed. So the demo is completely different. We invested not in features, we invested in quality. So we have an improved platter. Maybe somebody give me a hand. So the platter is the platter now is full aluminum platter, like you see from the Table Pro. Why we do it? Because it has higher weight and it's implemented. We can upgrade also because we want that people can also upgrade their turntable. Additionally, we have changed the gimbal setting similar to the Pro, which gives more mass to the gimbals. Why you need this? You see on all our high-end drone arms, also very massive gimbals. This is very expensive because you need big CNC machines to do this. The reason is because the toner, the cartridges makes resonances, and mass of the gimbals eat up the resonances by massing. So this is a very important part. Additionally, we have a new cartridge. We improved the red to our old specs. We call it Picket Evo cartridge. Additionally, we added a new color. Colors are very important because the colors make out of the product also an adorable lifestyle product. We think the hi-fi industry, black and silver, is exactly the opposite to that what the luxury industry operates. Hi-fi is luxury. Hi-fi is something consumer don't really need. So we have to learn from the luxury industry more how we offer our products. And one sign of the luxury industry is that luxury products have a lot of different variations. So when you buy cars or furniture or clothes, then expensive products and better products have different variations. So that's the DVE one. New is also the T2. The T2 is between now the Evo and the T1. For sure, you cannot make any more turntable for around 500 kilos with hand-painted sampling. So here is a small reduction. How we balance out the chassis quality, we made it a little bit bigger than the debut to gain some more stability, which definitely the particular board does not have against the MDF, but the size, the simple bigger size and the makes it still a very stable platform. For sure, again, using a glass platter instead of the aluminum platter definitely is better. Glass softens up a little bit the sound. It's still much better than the platters what you see usually in the market. You see now even 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, you see simple standard steel platters with 400 grams ringing, and I'm really surprised that I see back again features like thick rubber mats, which we threw away in the 80s. And I remember how many torrents I was modifying, putting different mats on, because I was realizing that thick rubber mat was damping the whole system too much and the sound was down. Okay, but we have here the glass platter in this product, again with the felt mat. We have a toner, one-piece toner. Please, I don't know who the hell had the idea to build in turntables detachable hatcher. Again, a thing what we throw away in the 80s, because we realized when you don't have the stiff contact here, you lose information. Do the people need the detachable hatcher? 99% no, because they don't change the cartridge. The detachable hatcher was existing because of two reasons. Number one, DJs, because they ruin the cartridge within a short time. Number two, high-end guys. I have very expensive arms where the detachable hatcher is very extremely expensive made, very precise made. They want to change different cartridges because they want to have different tastes. Yeah? They have 3, 4, 5 different cartridges, one for rock music, one for classic, one for jazz. Yeah? But not in a full 500 euro turntable. Yeah? And when you see the detachable hatchers in these turntables, you can move the hatcher very easily. Yeah? So you see easy that there is a loss of energy. We have here a compromise. First time, I know some people will say also Heinz Lichtenegger makes a compromise. Yes, here is an anti-skating which is done by spring. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. Perfect is the anti-skating technology like we have in Navy, which works on the classical adaptive weight over the power of the gravity of the weight, and it changes by physics the force from out to in, versus a fixed one only as a fixed anti-skating, so it doesn't apply to the real world. Yeah, but we as distributors, we are consumers, we are professionals, and I can say this, we have the duty to explain the consumer what is good and what is not so good. Yeah? Unfortunately, also this technology is forgotten, but any high-end toner, let's say like my Graham arm for $25,000, yeah, sure, they have an adaptive gravity. Okay, so that was the entry level. Here we have A, X because it's part of the X line, A because it's like blue. We always had in our career acrylic as a material, because acrylic is a quite interesting material with a very high internal damping, and therefore the whole industry is using it partly as splatters or as blends like we do here, but it's a little bit tricky to make out of acrylic and complete this perfect sounding turntable. Yeah, sorry, I forgot it. So one reason why you use acrylic is because of the damping factors, and second, because the consumer like it, because it looks good, and we want to make the turntables also look good, right? We have always, if we can combine that good look also with better sound quality, then we go for this material. But again, it's tricky. We see turntables around, yeah, where you have acrylic blends and also metal acrylic platters. We don't do this, so we don't like complete acrylic turntables because they would have a certain sound character which is determined by the acrylic circulating over them and not like tight. Yeah. We choose here the same platter as on the debut, but the toner is a different animal. It's not a carbon toner by purpose, because by the listening test it turned out that the aluminum toner with the acrylic simply works better. We have to understand that turntable design is like speaker design. It's a lot of listening work, because material work together, and the cartridge is like a resonance microphone pickup instrument, and any combination of resonances will be picked up and returned to a certain sound direction. Therefore, I'm also very surprised when I see companies who have no technology in turntable manufacturing, no listening tests, that they then bring up some turntables on their brand name, and there is nothing in reality behind. Yeah. What is the toner difference again? I want to stress this. This is a Cardanic design, versus the tables are always radial design. What is this? We have always steering on the horizontal and 2 pinpoints on the vertical. Here we have only pinpoints, 4 pinpoints. What is the difference? The difference is that the friction is factor of 5 to 10 for sure better than on radial arms. 90% of the industry is radial arms. Why they don't with Cardanic arms? It's better because it's more expensive to produce. You have simple more CNC machine parts, and that makes the product more expensive. Yeah. That's the XA, because it's balanced. But we believe that in these price ranges, a turntable must be connected, balanced with balanced table and a balanced flow stage, because it's so much less distortion, so much less hum, and the moving correctly. All our turntables from the X1T or X8 are balanced. You can make also for daily balance, and for this we have a different cartridge, which is a balanced cartridge, which we have built in. This is a special, it's a moving magnet cartridge, which works balanced like an Epson. Again, you get a voice ratio, which is on a completely different level. U is also the perspex. We didn't change anything on the perspex, but we made it better, also the balanced connectivity on this product. A typical Pro-Ject product, basically since 15 years, no change. Which means our technology and our designs are on that level that it holds the quality for many, many, many years, which hopefully makes happy customers. Okay, so apropos happy customers, let's move to the next important product category, entry level. We were convincing many consumers to invest again in a turntable, and many of these realized over the purchase of one of our turntables that the hobby hi-fi is really great. Unfortunately, in the electronic we have a little bit of problem, because also turntables are today connected on Bluetooth speakers, streaming speakers, sound bars, and so on. Fact is that 90% of today's audio is mono processed. That's what's here happening. This is a micro world and not the reality, because the reality is mono. And as Pro-Ject, I want for sure that my turntables are connected to the right systems. And I, as Pro-Ject, will never do streaming mono speakers with the turntable together. I will always create stereo systems, and therefore I show here some stereo systems which are affordable for everybody and which are usable in small rooms or instead of streaming speakers or sound bars. First product is just a very simple product. It's that product what everybody had in the 80s or in the 90s, which was the MIDI music center system, where you had a CD player, an amplifier, and speakers. We come back with this, because we think there's a big demand. The big companies, the big Japanese companies, were going out of this system, And I think there's a demand because so many people have still CDs, or we can have the system also with the turntable, also an option. But this gives with high-end micro speakers, this gives us for let's say 700 euros retail a great mini system, and that can be used in small rooms, in kitchens. I use it in my wine cellar, I use it in my office, I use it in my fitness, and I have stereo. I have hi-fi stereo. I don't need a streaming speaker because it's all about hi-fi stereo, because it's the only way how to consume music in a great way. Because I'm so addicted to hi-fi stereo, I built also my own system which I can use for traveling. And I developed a system called the traveling system, which I use for all my holidays and my traveling. It's always in my pocket, and you can have it here, listen to it. Yeah? And it's a simple small system around the stereo box with a new speaker, which sounds simply amazing. And this is the only product which I can play Wagner, Bruckner, and Oscar Peterson also in the hotel room. I know not everybody likes Wagner, so my neighbors are sometimes not so thrilled with me. Yeah? Okay, so these are the small little systems which are very, very affordable and gives you true high-end stereo. The customer doesn't need to buy a streaming speaker, or at least only for some bucks more, he can have a true hi-fi stereo system. But the true innovation is the Unibox. The Unibox goes even more in a different direction. The Unibox is a product where we integrate the streamer. We have a cooperation with a company which is very popular now, which is called Vim. Probably most of you know this company. So here is an integrated Vim streamer, but this streamer can not only receive the music from your mobile phone, it can send also the music to the speakers, because we developed some active model which you can use for any passive speaker, and including also my speakers. So I need a hand. So it's very simple. So it's a simple box from Pro-Ject where Link Streamer is inside, the amplifier is inside, and it's just connected to the speaker. And as most of the speakers have similar connectors, can use it universally. So probably you checked it out already with clips, it works very good. And if it's not working, we have adapters with small little speaker connectors with bananas, and we just put it by double tape on the back, same effect. And with this, you can make a multi-room system. Maybe you put it together. And with this, you can make a multi-room system, so you can use the Unibox and wire the speakers passively, and using then the sending module for the second room. Or you just use it without, you don't use the amplifier, and just send the signal and have active speaker. Why this is important for me? Because what we also forget to tell the customer, no proper sound without proper positioning of the speakers. How the customer is using speakers, I can tell you, customer is using the speakers mono. Yeah, when I go to a shop, every shop in the world is presenting turntables and the speakers beside the turntable. That's not hi-fi, that's not stereo. Because you need a proper distance between the speakers to make a stereo effect. And therefore, active speaker for turntables is the wrong choice. I don't know who was coming to this idea that everybody is selling active speakers with turntables. Because why? Number one, then you have the turntable here and the active speaker here, you have 1 meter cable. And 95% it's on the same shelf. Did you listen what's happening? Woo, 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 woo. Acoustical feedback. You cannot play dynamic. I don't know who comes to this idea. Second, if you have a CD player, or if you have a streamer, or maybe the TV, you have to run all the cables to the active speaker. And then the active speaker has anyway a cable to the other passive speaker. What the bullshit. But that's typical. For the customer it looks convenient, but nobody stands up and says, that's not the right way. And what is the result? Oh yeah, the result is that we sell thousands of these active speakers. But for me this is not enough. Because selling thousands of these speakers, 100,000 of these speakers, is nothing. Because we are reaching 2-3% of the consumers. I want to reach 20-30% of the consumers. And when we reach 20-30% of the consumers, this industry is 10 times bigger. But we constantly make wrong products because we lie to the customer and don't tell them the truth. Yeah? And again, also in all the cheap turntables who are today sold on the internet, you see the best examples, because that will kill this flower of I call it the analog flower, and I hope I can work against this and keep it up for many, many years. So okay, these are my stereo systems, and they are really affordable, and with the Unibox, we have a great digital system where we avoid also cabling on an intelligent way. Let's go a little bit to the high end. Number one, Pro-Ject is always trying to make the turntables in that way that they are upgradable. I don't understand why nobody's doing this in this way like we doing this, but when you love something, you want to upgrade it. If you love your bicycle, you want to make it better. So it's in all successful industries, the SSR and the upgrade industry is a very important one. And we make all our turntables upgradable, and we have many, many SSRs to add on to the turntables, and here are some of them. On the right side, here, we have the classic reference, and the classic reference is basically, again, a version of the Vienna Philharmonic turntable, which I produced to the 175 years anniversary of the Philharmonic. Many, many, many customers loved this product, but unfortunately it was limited to 175 pieces. And now I was bringing back this fantastic product. For sure, it's not anymore designed with the Vienna Philharmonic, but it has the same quality. And we even improved it by putting a better tone arm on it. And additionally, we put balanced outputs on this product. I think it's something astonishing, beautiful too. So, going to the next high-end part, I show here a product which is already 10 years on the market without change, and I relaunched it because I realized on this product you can't do anything better. Again, with my frustration that the industry is going a little bit the wrong way, that too many companies coming up with turntables which have, let's say, limited access to production. Let's see this. I want to show you the extension 9, because the extension 9 is everything what Pro-Ject makes in the high end. It's a product which is in many, many ways so special that it's very difficult to make it better. Number one, we are the only one producing in this price range heavy platter like the temp aluminum platter from the X9. Additionally, such a platter is expensive. Why nobody is doing this platter? Because such a platter costs 250 euros. My price. A tailoring platter, an atrium platter, same thing, has about only 1/3 of the weight, so the moving mass is much worse. And second, it's cheap, 60 euros. I use atrium platter in the mid-range, not in the high end, because in the high end you need more mass. Additionally, we have magnetic bearing. I'm not alone with magnetic bearing, but look at the where magnetic bearings are usually used in much higher designs. For sure, we damp it also with thermoplastic elastomers. Also, this we find aluminum platters, but not proper damp. We use vinyl on the top. The perfect platter would be the vinyl itself. That's the theory. So there was a famous company who thought, okay, when the perfect platter would be the vinyl itself, let's put the vinyl as a mat on. So we have recycled vinyls, glue it on the platter, and bake it for 8 hours. Costs a lot of money. By the way, you know who is the company who has invented this idea? Oracle. Oracle Delphi. 15,000 euros, not 3,000. Then we have here the ceramic inverted bearing with the ceramic ball. Wonderful. And chassis. You think this is a normal chassis? No, it's not a normal chassis. Number one, the chassis has chambers where we fill the chambers with sand of metal to make it absolutely resonance free, and on top to make it really heavy, because this is a mass loaded subchassis curtain. You see here on our website, we have a cut. That's the way how it's designed. Why? Because once we're using mass in the turntable, we must use big mass to feel the resonances. This turntable is 2 to 3 times more heavy than anything on the market in a similar price range. We give a clamp to it. Very rare that clamps are supplied. We have the magnetic feet. The magnetic fields are elevating the turntables in air, so that it's a mass-loaded subchassis turntable. These feet alone are extremely expensive, so the set of 3 is 600 euros. You see plastic feet in this price range. It's ridiculous. Or simple cones. We have on the center of the bearing, we have the so-called gravity center mass point. We have a heavy aluminum block machined around the bearing. Why we do this? Because this mass block is eating up all the resonances of the bearing, the rumble of the bearing. Why nobody is doing this? It's not. Very simple. Cost money. Let's cut it out. That's the problem. Let's cut it out and say it sounds better. Because sound is subjective. Sound is everybody believing. Here I want to give a product where you can explain a lot of details. Therefore, I created also a website where you can explain very detailed where are the difference in the product and what makes it special. Additionally, I created a configurator. Why? Because true luxury means that the customer has the choice. That means the more choice you have, the more people are interested in the product, because you can make it individual for them. You can buy a Porsche Panamera for 100,000 euros, but this quality for 300,000 euros. What is the difference? Same look, but the details. The tires, the motor, the leather, the BMW system, sorry. Advertised for some. Yeah. So we have created a configurator where you can create the extension line in 250 variations. So you can put the luxury color, you can put a different tone arm, let's see the premium arm, the high gloss arm. You can add the phono stage, you can add the cable, you can add the cartridge, and boom, it's a 5,600 euros turntable, but it's exactly the turntable what I want. And that's luxury. And there we have to come. And we are the only one who can supply this because we have 100% control over the production, and therefore we are able to do such fantastic feature for the consumers. Okay, here you see certain variations. By the way, tone arms, yeah? We have also the tone arms all in high gloss. Does the tone arms in high gloss sound better? No, definitely they don't sound better. But they look better, and they are not in chrome. They are hand polished, because chrome would not give us the tolerance what we need, because all these arms are based on a tolerance of 1,000 of a millimeter. So the only way to make the tolerance small is hand polishing. So one lady takes 1 day, 8 hours to polish one arm. This is what the customer wants to hear, because it's the pride of the ownership that he said, wow, I have a handmade, this is that music. So, and finally, we have our Signature 12, our reference product in a new fashion, which we showed last year already, but we took another year to develop it on the best way, and we will bring it out during this fall. So that was the Pro-Ject presentation. If somebody is interested also in musical fidelity, then please follow me on the other side.